Hi, this is Donna Papacosta, and today I'd like to talk to you about content marketing. Yeah, it seems like a buzzword, doesn't it? It's actually not that new, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But you're probably hearing more and more about it, and part of that reason is, well, there are some of us who like to be on page 1 of Google results. When people do a search, we don't like to be on page 17. No one looks on page 17. But there are lots of other reasons for wanting to use content marketing for your business. In addition to search engine optimization, you can build word-of-mouth buzz, get known as a thought leader, and ultimately generate more leads and more business. So what exactly is content marketing? Let's make sure we're defining our terms. Here's how I define it. Content marketing means creating and publishing relevant, valuable content that attracts and engages a clearly defined audience. So you have to know who is your audience. Who are you doing this for? You have to have an objective, and there's really an objective for them to solve their problem, and an objective for you. We'll get into that in a minute. What I want to be clear about is your content marketing material is not salesy stuff. There may be elsewhere on your website that you have sales sheets and other information about your company and your products and your services, but that's not what content marketing is about. Content marketing is about helping to solve your clients' or your prospects' problems. We know that content marketing is getting more and more popular. The Content Marketing Institute and also Marketing Profs did a recent study where they found 93% of business-to-business marketers are using content marketing, and about 73% of them say they're producing more content than they were last year. And these are numbers from 2013. Not surprising. But you know what's really interesting is that it's not new. We've been doing it successfully in some cases. I found one example of the John Deere Company producing a magazine for farmers called The Furrow. But what surprised me is this was started by the original John Deere back in the 1800s. So he was making plow blades and other implements for farmers and other equipment for farmers. But instead of producing information just about his company, and he certainly had his product catalog, he produced a magazine for farmers. I loved seeing stuff like that from over 200 years ago. So ultimately, just like John Deere, we want to attract customers to us. And we attract people to us not by talking all about ourselves. Believe me, no one cares about your mission statement. Your employees might care about it, but I don't care about it. And most visitors to your website don't care about it. What they want to know is, can you solve their problems? So when we talk about content marketing, we're talking about putting great content right there on center stage, not self-serving copy all about you, you, you. And there's a great example of this from someone who's become quite well known in content marketing circles, and that's Marcus Sheridan. A few years ago, Marcus was happily running his pool company in the United States when the recession hit. And not so many people were interested in getting big holes dug in their backyards filled with water. They had other things on their mind during the recession, like maybe paying the mortgage. So Marcus started a blog, and he started a blog that answered questions that people had about pools. Where should I put a pool in my yard? What's the best liner for a pool? And so on. And he found that having that blog really lifted him to the top of search engines and helped his company weather the recession. Of course, since then, Marcus Sheridan has become known as a real leader in the content marketing world. But it's very interesting how he successfully used content marketing thinking like a customer, right? Sometimes people will say that their company is not as interesting as a pool company, so they can't use content marketing. They'll say to me, well, my business is not interesting. We're recruiters, or we manufacture widgets, or whatever they do. They say, well, maybe we can't use content marketing. And again, most of the people I work with are in the business-to-business world. So whenever someone says their company is too boring for content marketing, I give them Exhibit A, the Indium Corporation in the United States. The Indium Corporation has 73 blogs by 17 authors, most of whom are engineers. Now, I don't want to malign engineers. I know some engineers, they're wonderful people, but they're not normally known for their creative writing abilities. But the Indium Corporation is publishing these blogs and found that they increased their leads 6-fold after the blogs came online. Now you may wonder, what is the sexy product manufactured by the Indium Corporation? I give you solder paste. Yes. If they can make solder paste interesting, and if they can house their content marketing efforts, if they can build those efforts around solder paste, you can too. You can build a content marketing program around your products and services. I guarantee it. If you think that your business is not interesting enough, please let me know, and we'll talk about how you can make it interesting for content marketing. So I mentioned blogs. The Indium Corporation was blogging, and Marcus Sheridan was blogging. So we can certainly use text. We can use audio, video, and photos. And they may be in the context of blogs or podcasts. E-newsletters are another way to publish content. Industry news, sharing industry news that your prospects care about. You can do webinars, infographics. You can publish white papers or ebooks. You can do surveys and then share the survey results. Case studies can be very effective, and how-to guides. If you publish how-to information that you know that people are searching for, you become known as the expert in that niche who has the answers, and you want to be known as the expert in that niche who has the answers, don't you? I'm a big believer in using social media and content marketing together. Unfortunately, some people jump into social media without really thinking about the types of content they're going to publish. They say, "We need some Twitter, give us a Facebook." But what are you going to publish? You have to think like a publisher, and sometimes they're a little bit put off by that. Well, we didn't really think about that. Well, you have to think about that. So you need that content marketing program, and then you can use social media to amplify your efforts, to spread the word about your wonderful content. So often, your blog, and I'm hoping your blog is integrated well with your website, your blog serves as a hub so that if you use Twitter and Google Plus and LinkedIn and Facebook and Pinterest, and you may not use all of those, you may use more than those, but you have the blog right at the center, and that's because you own your blog. You own your website. Facebook doesn't own it. LinkedIn doesn't own it. It's yours. Now, you're also going to point to other content, not just your own, but I'm hoping that you'll put that blog at center stage in the middle of your social media efforts, integrated in with your content marketing. And then, of course, you're going to use Twitter, you're going to use Google+, you're going to use Facebook in some cases to point to that content. I also want to remind you about SlideShare. It's really a terrific platform for sharing information, and it's a place that you can put your presentations, make sure you give it the right keywords, and people will find your content. They really will. Another thing you can do is curate content. And why is that? Well, Clay Shirky, a professor at New York University, talks about information overload, except he says it's not information overload that we're suffering from. It's filter failure. Filter failure. Think about it. If you could filter the information that's coming towards you on the so-called information fire hose, you could make sense of it. And then you could also help others to make sense of it. And that's what we call content curation. And you should care about content curation because it can help you yourself keep up with the rapid flow of information, but it also positions you as a learner, as someone who knows this stuff, as a thought leader, can help differentiate you in the marketplace, and in turn can boost your content marketing efforts. My friend Todd Deffrin at Shift Communications a couple of years ago published what he called the 70-30 rule. Now, I don't know if you have to take this as a rule, but it's a great suggestion. He suggests that 70% of your content should be curated and 30% branded, because the rest of the world is at least 70% more interesting than your brand. Plus, when you promote external content, you build social capital. And that makes grateful fans of your influencers. So that's something to think about. A great example of curated content is CMO.com, which is information for chief marketing officers. It is curated by Adobe, but they have a vendor-neutral site with minimal sponsorship advertisement there. Another curation tool I like to use is paper.li or Paperly, which can easily help you to publish a daily or a weekly newspaper. Again, can position you as a thought leader because here you are publishing curated content on a topic that your clients care about. Of course, you need to measure the success of your content marketing efforts. And when you start off with your strategy and you start off with your goals, you have to say, okay, well, when I do all this, how will I know if I'm succeeding? And certainly you can look at numbers, your page views, your shares, your likes, are leads coming in, are people subscribing to your blog? Are you getting invitations to speak or to guest blog? Are you getting referrals? And of course, are you getting sales? I'm assuming one of your goals is to get sales. Maybe it's not. But if it is, are you getting those things? Now, it takes time. You don't start content marketing and a week later start getting people knocking your door down to buy your products and services. It does take time, but it does work. A few best practices to be aware of. Make sure you know your audience and make sure you know what problems they're looking to solve. Don't overtly sell. Remember, it's not about you. It's about helping them. It's helpful for you to have an editorial calendar so you can plan your content that you're going to publish. It's not just random, although certainly you can respond to things that are happening in your industry or in the news if that's appropriate. Make sure your content is really easy to share. It's kind of funny that we used to copy and paste URLs with abandon, but now everyone wants to have buttons to click, tweet, like, share. So make it easy for people to do that. They don't want to do those clicks. We're a one-click society now, right? So make it easy for people. And make sure you are using social media to amplify your content marketing efforts so more people know about it and they can share it with their friends. At the same time, when it comes to social media, don't try to be everywhere because it's impossible. You'll spread yourself way too thin. So remember to create your original content, to curate your content, and think about syndicating your content. The power of syndication became quite obvious to me when I had a blog post that did pretty well in the realm of retweets, got more than my usual blog post. This was a post about why social media without content marketing makes no sense. Actually, I suggest that you read that. But you see, I got 76 retweets, which is, respectable for me. But I'm also syndicated on the business to community blog. Well, over there, I got 428 retweets because they have a bigger platform. It's a bigger place than my blog. So by syndicating my content, I was able to reach a broader audience. So again, create, curate, and syndicate. A couple of things to avoid. Again, don't overtly sell your services. You can overtly sell your services, but not in your content marketing efforts. Please don't bore people. There's enough information out there to bore us. Remember to curate as well as create, and don't ignore the power of social media. So if you remember your audience's needs, keep your end goal in mind, think like a publisher, and create, curate, and syndicate, you will have success with content marketing. If you'd like to talk about your own organization and your content marketing and curation efforts, I'd love to speak with you. You can reach me by email, phone, or on Twitter. On my website at trafcom.com, there's a special report on content marketing. It's free, so I hope you'll download it. Thanks for listening and watching.